All right. So, welcome to this gentle yoga practice with the Stephen Cohen Clinic. My name is Jessica. We're going to be doing a gentle practice today. As always, I ask that you please respect your body. Don't do anything that push your limits too far. And for those of us who are in person, if you have any questions during the practice, anything feels uncomfortable, you can sit it out and then you can ask me about it afterwards, about any modifications that you might want to make. But you can go ahead and get a yoga mat out. You're welcome to do the practice all from the chair today if you'd like to. If you're not in the chair, we're going to start out standing to begin the practice, and then we're going to move down to the floor for the final part. And we'll also do a guided relaxation meditation at the end. So if you need any blankets, pillows to help make yourself comfortable, that might come in handy at the end of the practice. So you can go ahead and either from your chair or finding a comfortable standing position and standing about with the feet about hip width apart. Just gently engaging the feet with the ground, allowing the hips to be wide open. Letting the shoulder blades just kind of ease down the back, allowing the shoulders to fall away from the ears. Chin slightly tucked in towards the chest. Feeling the length and the strength of the spine, allowing space within the body here. If it's comfortable for you, you can close the eyes or just adopting a soft gaze. And we're going to just start by settling into the moment. And if it feels right for you, you can place a hand at the heart and one on the belly. With the hand at the heart, maybe an intention of compassion for yourself there. And the hand on the belly just to bring greater awareness of sensations of the breath there. And just noticing thoughts that are now present. Noticing sensations present in the body. And just kind of settling in on the sensations of the breath. And sensing movement of air at the nostrils and through the throat. Feeling the gentle rise and fall of the belly or of the chest. And just noticing the qualities of the breath, noticing how fast you're breathing. Noticing the depth of the breath. And is the breath more focused in the chest or in the belly? Without changing, just noticing and kind of using the breath as a barometer to your sense of being right now. And now allowing the breath just a little bit deeper, a little bit longer, and allowing expansion of the belly with each inhalation. And a long, slow release with each exhalation. And perhaps allowing the exhalation to extend out just a little bit longer than the inhalation. And as you're ready, you can release the hands down to your side and just noticing what just slowing down the breath a little, kind of what effect that has on the body and on the mind. You can open the eyes, just arriving present in the room and I'd like to start out today with the intention of kind of shaking off any tensions you might have noticed in the body, kind of any thoughts from the day, just kind of shaking things away. So we're going to just start out with a full body shaking, and you can just kind of shift the weight back and forth from the right side to the left side. And you can gently roll the head back and forth too. And as you're shaking, you can even kind of just imagine tensions kind of melting and oozing down the body into the ground. And do some rotations of the joints to start to open up the body a little bit more. So we'll go ahead and start with some big shoulder rotations here. And you can continue the shaking here, or you can do the shaking from your chair. And now releasing the arms, we'll do a little bit of a spine twist here. So just gently shaking as you twist from right to left, just allowing the hands to gently strike the body on each turn. And releasing that again. We're going to go ahead and move to rotate some rotations of the hips. And if you're in the chair, you can actually rotate around the hips. If you're standing though, we're going to turn the hips like we have a hula hoop around us here. And you can change directions back and forth at your own pace. And then back to our shaking. Do our hips next. So standing on the left leg, we'll just do some small rotations of the right hip. And if you're on the floor, you can just press the ball of the foot into the ground and do some rotations of your hip like this. If you're standing, you can actually do some larger rotations if you'd like. And feel welcome to use a chair or a piece of furniture to help support you here. All right, and now moving to the other side. So standing on the right side, we're gonna go ahead and start to do rotations of that left hip. You can change back and forth. All right, and now the knee joints, we're just gonna gently swing, hinge the knee back and forth on the right side and shifting over to the left. And now rotating the ankles. For this one, you can, especially if you're sitting, press the ball of the foot into the ground and just rotate the ankle around it. Or you can do a rotation, rotating the foot around. All right, and other side. And we'll release that and we'll return to our full body shaking, and you can focus on any part of the body that might feel like it needs it the most. And perhaps rubbing, if you're noticing any tensions that are lingering, just kind of rubbing that area of the body, perhaps the lower back or the neck or the jaw. All right, and then we'll come to stillness, coming back to Tadasana, mountain pose. And perhaps noticing how sensations are a little more alive now in the body. And just taking a moment to again notice the qualities of the breath. If you're sitting, seated in a dignified position with nice length to the spine. All right, so did a little bit of opening of the joints. Now we'll do some full body stretching, and we're gonna kind of do it with the breath here. So I'm gonna start out, you can turn up the palm of your left hand. We're gonna inhale the arm up overhead, and then as you exhale, leaning over to the right side, maybe even bringing the gaze upward. And then inhale, flipping the right palm up, bringing the right arm up overhead. And then exhale, lifting the gaze up towards the ceiling from this side. Inhale, finding length in the spine, and exhale, side fold. Inhale, exhale, other side. As you're leaning over towards the right, pressing that left foot into the ground and feeling that stretch all the way up the left side body. And then leaning to the left, pressing the right foot down, stretching out through the right fingertips, feeling that stretch in the right side body. And then on the next inhalation, bringing both arms up overhead, palms of the hands together. And then we're going to drop the hands down, bending the elbows so that the thumbs touch the base of the skull, getting just a passive chest opening here. And again, keeping length in the spine here, allowing the chest and the belly. And then we'll do some shoulder stretches. So you can inhale the arms back overhead, exhale, and you'll go ahead and reach the left hand toward your right shoulder blade and grasping the left elbow with your right hand. You can even gently lean over towards your right side. Next, inhale, arms back overhead, and then exhale, grasping now the right elbow with the left hand, reaching that right hand for the left shoulder blade. Inhaling the arms up overhead, and then as you exhale, we're going to sweep the arms down, and you can place the hands on the hips or grasping behind you in a reverse bind here. So hands are on the hips, getting a gentle chest stretch here, or you can grasp the palms of the hands together and then pressing down towards the ground as you pull the shoulder blades towards each other and down towards the ground. And tucking this chin in slightly towards the chest and extending the crown of the head upwards. Again, keeping nice length in the spine here. And perhaps now from this position, noticing the sensations of the breath. And allowing the breath nice and relaxed in the belly. And we'll go ahead and release the arms and shake them out. We're going to be doing a forward fold now. I'm going to show you first, if you're in the chair, what that's going to look like for you. So if you're seated in the chair, you're going to bring the feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. You'll inhale the arms up overhead, palms together, and then folding forward from the chair. And you can bring the fingertips to the ground or the knees to the thighs, whichever works for you today. And when we inhale up to a flat back, you'll just come to a long spine and then exhale back into the forward fold. All right. And for those who are standing, finding a nice grounded position in your Tadasana mountain pose. You can go maybe a little bit wider than hip distance apart because we are going to be folding forward. It might help you have a stronger base of balance here. Now, inhale the arms up overhead, palms together, and then bringing the hands down, and then gently forward folding. And you can bring the fingertips to the floor here, or perhaps the elbows to the thighs, or you might even be using a chair or furniture for some support, whatever works for you today. Or you can just completely drape the body so that the chest is draped over the thighs. And then we're going to just gently rock back and forth, side to side. And if you're in the chair, you'll just be doing the same thing from your chair. And then we'll go ahead and walk. We're going to go ahead and press that right foot into the ground, and you can straighten that right leg, and we'll walk our fingertips over in front of the left foot here, getting a stretch up the right side of the body. And then walking the fingertips back to center, and we'll go ahead and press that left foot into the ground, straightening that left leg and walking the fingertips over in front of the right foot, feeling that stretch up the left side body. And then coming back to center, nice deep bend in the knees with our forward fold. And then we're gonna inhale up to a flat back. And you can straighten the legs out some, but we're more just looking for that length in the spine here. So you can place the fingertips on the shins or on the thighs, tucking the chin in towards the chest. So you get a nice length and you're not kinking back that cervical spine here. And then exhale, forward folding again, reaching or draping the chest back over the thighs. Inhaling back up to our flat back. And exhale, forward fold, draping the body down again. And then as we inhale, we're going to keep the knees bent and with strong legs. We're going to slowly roll up, bringing the arms up overhead, palms of the hands together, and bringing the hands down to heart center. And then releasing the hands down again for our mountain pose. Finding that sense of stability, that sense of connection with the earth here. You can have the palms of the hands out or open, and kind of an open type of gesture too, if that's comfortable for you. And we're going to be doing a tree posture, our standing balance here. So you can go ahead and shift the weight over to that left foot. So left foot slightly engaged with the ground, feeling that sense of stability as though you have roots growing out into the ground beneath you. And coming up so that just 10% of the weight's on that right ball of the foot. And then you can just turn so that that right heel comes in connection with the left ankle. And this might be your tree posture for today. Or if you're in the chair, you'll have the left leg straight, and then you're just going to allow that right knee to fall just like this for a gentle hip opening. Or you can go ahead and bring that sole of the foot up to that left calf. Or if you'd like a little more of a challenge, we just want to avoid the knee in this posture. You want to either be below it or above it, so you're not pressing in weight on the knee. You can bring the foot up to that left inner thigh. Now, pressing the palms of the hands together and pressing that sole of the right foot into the left thigh if you're in the higher position. Just finding a nice steady spot for your gaze. You can even bring the arms out, spreading your branches outward for this one. And then as you're ready, you'll just gently come out of the posture. And settling back, so the weight on both feet again, and just noticing the right side of the body versus the left side of the body after that posture. And then we're going to settle into this right foot, so most of the weight on the right side, feeling those roots growing down. About 10% on the left foot here, and you can just turn that left heel in and place it above the right ankle for your tree pose, standing or in the chair, or perhaps sliding the foot up to the calf, just avoiding the knee, or coming up to the right thigh. Just honoring your body with whatever version works for you today. And then we'll, with control, come back out here. All right. I'm going to do a little breath flow here into goddess posture. I'll show you first, for those of you who are in the chair, you'll just bring the feet out a little bit wider than hip width, or as far as is comfortable for you, and you'll just do the arms. So you'll inhale the arms up, and then exhale, bringing the elbows in towards the rib cage. Inhale. You can even kind of press up with as though you're coming up out of a squat just a little bit, and then back to the chair. So just pressing the feet into the ground as though you were going to come up, but staying in the chair. If you're standing, we'll just go a little bit wider than hip width apart. Turn the toes out slightly. And we're going to inhale the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, bending the knees and pulling the elbows in towards the rib cage. Inhale, stretching up long and tall. You can lift the gaze up. Exhale into our squat. And just allowing the breath to lead the movement here, just going as deep as is comfortable for you today. We'll do one more here. And then walking the feet back in. And then exhale, releasing the arms down to our mountain pose again. And just taking another moment here, just noticing sensations now present in the body. Noticing the qualities of the breath. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move down to the floor now. I'm just gonna change the camera angle a little bit here. So you can comfortably make your way to the mat. And maybe having a pillow and a blanket available for the end of our practice. And let's see, we're gonna come to a hands and knees tabletop position. But first I'm gonna show you, if you've had any recent knee injuries or anything where you can't have any weight on them, you can either do the practice from the chair, or you can come to a comfortable seated position on a cushion or on a blanket. And we're gonna start out with cat-cow, which I will do from tabletop in just a minute, but for those of you in the chair, you're just gonna place the hands on the thighs, and you'll inhale, lifting the gaze upward, expanding the chest, and then exhale, curving the back, chin in towards the chest, stretching the back side of the body. All right, for those of you who are on tabletop, I'll bring the shoulders above the wrists, the hips above the knees, And as you inhale, you're going to go ahead and just drop the belly towards the ground, lifting the gaze upward. And then as you exhale, pointing the tailbone towards the ground, sucking the belly in and curving the spine up towards the ceiling, chin in towards the chest. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze, just real gentle movements here. Exhale. And allowing your breath to lead your movement here. And coming back to center. And we're just going to circle the hips around here. Again, working on opening up the joints of the body here. So you can make creative movements, switching back and forth. And for those of you who are seated, you can rotate around your center of gravity here, getting a similar type of opening. And then we'll come back to a neutral position. We're going to do another breath flow here. So on this one, as you inhale, you're going to shift the weight forward, coming to just a gentle back bend, lifting the gaze upward for cobra. And then as you exhale, you're going to shift the weight back towards the heels and using the hands for a little traction here, finding length in the spine as you tuck your chin in towards your chest. And then you'll inhale again, shifting the weight forward, keeping the core engaged here to protect the lower back. And then exhale, shifting the weight back, finding length in the spine. And just continuing on here at the pace of your own breath. For this one, those of you who are on the chair, you'll inhale, finding a little back bend for a cobra. And then as you exhale, draping the body over the thighs. Inhaling back up, exhale. And after your next inhalation, we're all going to find child's posture here and hold it. So you can go ahead and spread the knees out about as wide as the mat, bringing the feet, toes towards each other. And then coming back, allowing the hips to settle towards the heels. And you might need a cushion or a blanket underneath the pelvis or perhaps behind the knees here to help support them. You can also place a blanket underneath the head here. And you can have the arms stretched out long or the hands stretched long, or you can bring it to the level of your shoulders if that's causing too much tension for the neck. Just finding a nice, comfortable position here. We're going to settle in here for a minute. And for those who are on the chair, if you have a blanket or a pillow, you can just drape the body over that. And just allowing the forehead to come to rest against whatever surface you might have available. And feeling the weight of the forehead against the ground, feeling it supported there. And allowing the breath full and deep in the belly. As you breathe fully into the belly, perhaps noticing an opening in the back body. And on your next inhalation, we'll go ahead and press our way back up to the tabletop, and you can make any more moves that feel good for you. Perhaps doing another circle of the hips. And then we're going to go ahead and swing around to a seated position. We'll stretch the legs out long for our staff. Go ahead and do some circles with the ankles. You can rotate, switching directions back and forth. And as you rotate the ankles, noticing that connection into the knees, into the hips, and into the lower back. You can go ahead and point and flex the feet. And we'll go ahead and spread out the legs as wide as is comfortable for you. And if you're in the chair, we'll just bend the left knee and extend the right leg out long. And then whether you're seated or in the chair, we're going to go ahead and you'll inhale, finding length in the spine, and exhale, side bending towards that right foot. And you can lift the gaze upward. And taking a breath here. Exhale, coming back, finding length in the spine. Again, we'll do that one more time. Inhaling the arm up overhead as you find length in the spine, and exhale, side bending, lifting the gaze upward. And one more time, inhaling the arm up overhead, exhale. And then we're gonna go ahead and just shift our hips so that they're facing that right foot. We're gonna do another fold here, but this time with the hips in alignment with the right leg. You can press the fingertips into the ground as you inhale, finding length in the spine, and exhale, folding forward. Inhale, releasing, finding length, exhale, folding forward again. Do that one more time. And coming back up and to center. Now, if you're in the chair, you're gonna bend, have the right knee bent and stretch the left leg out long. You can just put the left palm of the hand on that left thigh or shin here. We're gonna inhale the right arm up overhead, exhale, side bending here, gaze up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale the arm up overhead, exhale, side bending again. Inhaling back to a long spine, exhale, one more. All right, and then shifting so that we're facing that left foot and then pressing the fingertips into the ground. We'll inhale, finding length in the spine, and then exhale, forward folding. Inhale again, finding length, exhale, forward fold. One more time. And coming back to center. I'll bring the feet in, soles of the feet together. And if you're in the chair, you could just, again, bring the soles of the feet together, allowing the knees to fall outward and maybe giving the feet a little bit of a rub if they're accessible to you. Just take a moment to sit here in our cobbler's posture. And as you're doing this, attempting to tip the hips forward so that you can find length in the spine here. From the tailbone all the way up to the top of the head, finding length here. And then you can inhale, finding that length, and exhale, gently folding forward. Inhale, finding that length again. Exhale, forward fold. One more time. Inhale, exhale. All right, and then inhaling back up. We're going to go ahead and move to our backs now for those who are on the mat. So you'll bend the knees, soles of the feet on the ground. You can place the hands on the belly. Really just releasing the body into the ground here. If you're lying down, or finding a nice dignified position if you're seated. Wherever you are, just allowing the skeleton to really support the body here. Feeling the expansion and release of the belly with each breath. With each exhale, just kind of letting go a little bit more. And then we'll go ahead and pull the knees in towards the chest. If you're lying on the ground, if you're seated, you can bring the chest forward to the knees. And we're going to give our knees a hug and just gently rolling back and forth, getting a massage in the lower back, the outer hips here. And then we'll drop that left foot to the ground, extending the right leg long up towards the ceiling. And you can grasp behind the right thigh here, or you can bend the knee and grab your right toe. If you're doing this, you might want to extend your arm out for a sense of stability. If you're sitting in the chair, you'll go ahead and just stretch your right leg out long, flexing the toes back and doing just a real gentle forward fold towards that right foot. And if you're on the ground, you can just gently allow that leg to fall out towards the right and back to center. And then we'll bring that right heel to the left knee, letting that right knee fall out, getting a nice gentle opening in the right hip here. And you can extend the arms out long with the palms up towards the ceiling. If you're seated in the chair, you can bring that right heel up to your knee, if that's accessible for you. Or you can just leave the right foot on the ground and letting that right knee fall outward, also getting a gentle opening in your hip. If you want a little bit deeper stretch, you can curl up, grasping behind the left thigh, pulling it in. And releasing that leg back down. We'll bring the right foot back to the floor and then pulling the left knee in towards the chest if you're on the ground. If you're seated in the chair, you're going to stretch your left leg out long and just flex the toes. And then we're all going to stretch that left leg out long. Perhaps grabbing for the toes. Just allowing that left knee to remain bent though. If you're lying on the ground, you can just let that left leg drift out towards the left, back towards center. Inhale, releasing it out to the left. Exhale, back to midline. And then we're going to bring that left heel to your right knee. Same thing in the chair if that's available for you. Or if you're in the chair, you can bring the left heel to the right ankle. Just letting that left knee fall out to the side. And you can curl up, grasping behind that right thigh if you'd like a deeper stretch. And then we'll go ahead and release both feet back to the ground. We're going to bring the feet out so that they're about mat distance apart, maybe a little bit wider or a little wider than the feet of your chair. And spread the arms out long if you're lying on the ground. And we're gonna gently just windshield wiper the legs with the breath here. So you'll inhale, exhale, letting the legs drop to the left. And then inhaling back to center, and then exhale, allowing the knees to drop to the right side. Inhaling back to center, exhale, other side. Again here, moving at the pace of your own breath. You can even move the head in the opposite direction as the knees to get a full spine twist here. And then coming back to center. And we'll go ahead and pull the knees into the chest one last time. And you can go ahead and roll again here. Make any final movements that feel good for you. Well, option to do a happy baby. You can, if you're in the chair, you'll just bring the feet about hip distance apart and then drape the torso between the legs. If you're on the ground, we're going to reach between the legs and grabbing the outside of the feet. And you can just rock back and forth here for a modified happy baby, or you can extend the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. And you can make any final movements that feel good for you, maybe a bridge or anything else that might be part of your practice or inversion. And then finding your way to a comfortable position. If you're lying on the ground, this might be Shavasana, stretching the legs out long, letting the feet fall outward, palms of the hands up towards the ceiling. And you can place a blanket or a pillow underneath the head. Maybe something behind the knees to help support the lower back if you're seated. Moving forward or back in the chair, whatever you need to do to find a nice neutral spine. If your feet don't quite touch the ground, you might need to move forward in the chair so that you feel more connected with the ground. And wherever you're at, you can close the eyes if that's comfortable for you, or just adopting a soft gaze. Just noticing the sounds in the room around you. Noticing the sensation of air on the skin. Noticing all the areas where the body comes in contact with and is supported by the surface that it's resting on. And feeling the body as secure and as supported in this moment. Releasing the jaw, the shoulders, and softening the arms and the legs. And again, checking in with the sensations of the breath and the body. Noticing movement of air at the nostrils, the coolness of the inhalation, and the gentle warmth of the exhalation. Noticing the gentle rise and fall of the belly with each breath. Sensing the space created with each inhalation and the release and the letting go that's possible with each exhalation. Noticing more subtle sensations of the breath, a gentle expansion and release of the rib cage. And subtle movement of the shoulder blades with the breath. And perhaps noticing the subtle wave of the spine with each breath. And feeling the wave of the breath gently ebbing and flowing. And sensing the breath and gently nourishing every cell of the body. And perhaps with intention, sending the nourishment of the breath to any areas where it might be needed most. Feeling the body as secure, safe, and supported in this moment. And you can begin to bring some movement to the fingers and the toes, perhaps stretching the body out long. If you're lying down, you can roll to one side and taking a few breaths there. And as you're ready, you can press your way up to a comfortable seated position. Just taking a moment seated here. You can have the eyes closed yet and just noticing what thoughts are now present. Any sensations present in the body. Noticing the sensations of the breath. And still feeling the body as secure and supported. Once you're ready, you can begin to bring in some light to the eyes, taking in colors and shapes in the room around you. And as you're ready, arriving fully present in this moment, just as it is.